Man, fellas, it is an amazing day today. You know why?
Why?
Because this man is back. Royce Lewis. Let's go. I see
Happy
Forbes got
ro-
the twin shirt on.
You
yeah,
excited for that?
Yeah, good vibes here to start episode 105. Spinny, who do you think we got for episode 105?
I don't know. Who do we got for episode 105? If it's
It's
another
no,
darn
it's not. It's
that
not a
many
runner.
days in a
It's not a
row
runner.
person, I'm gonna have to riot.
No, it's not a
Okay.
runner. This is kind of a stretch, but the fastest pitch in MLB history is 105.8. So it's
Oh,
not quite 106. So we're counting it for episode 105. That is, of course, Aroldis
Randy
Chapman.
Johnson. Oh,
Aroldis,
Araldis.
Cha- Aroldis Chapman,
Nice.
episode 105 is dedicated to him. We got a
Episode
lot of
105, also brought to you by my
yeah,
wife's unbelievable cookies that are so unworldly
Didn't make
fire.
any.
No, none for Bus, only
What?
Forbes and Spinny for the cookies today. So shout out to her for
They
that.
called me milk and cookies. What?
Yeah, milk and cookies. Don't get no cookies today, boy. Come on.
Man, get out. I'm sick of this. We're gonna listen to Jack so we can get after it because that is ridiculous. The Aroldis Chapman episode. We got to start with headlines. Like my headline says, fellas, we finally got the Jefferson deal done. Spinny was on here, episode 104, begging for us to get the deal done before CD Lamb's deal. And Spinny, we did it, man. What'd you think about the final numbers?
We did it! Let's
Oh,
go! I was so adamant about that. It was unbelievable. Glad Kuisi got it done. I love 35 million is what I expected, so I guess I wasn't
same.
super like crazy out of it with that. Um and 27 and a half guaranteed. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good numbers all around. I thought we didn't go crazy over market value. Obviously, he is the highest paid non-quarterback ever. So like that is huge, but we kind of knew that that was what it was going to be. So we just barely went over Nick Bosa and not like exploded Nick Bosa. So I like that.
And the fact that it aligns perfectly with JJ McCarthy's future extension, that's the best part about it, right? So we're off his money and we don't have to have him on the team when we need to pay JJ the big bucks, assuming he's worth it down the road. But this was a no-brainer deal. Jefferson's done nothing but produce since coming in the NFL. Last year, even with missing games, he put up 1,000 yards in only 10 games. So he deserves this money 100%. And I'm glad he's staying around. Other football
Forbes.
contract, CMC. Forbes, what do you think about the CMC money? Kind of reset the RB market there, but what do you expect? It's Christian McCaffrey. 2 years,
yeah,
$38 million.
yeah. No, I guess it didn't reset it in my eyes. More as
Yeah,
you see CMC more as like one of those wide receiver playmakers. So I
yeah,
don't think
I agree.
I don't know if it really reset the market. More so as he kind of got what he deserved, and the 49ers got to keep their ace in the hole kind of. So I think it's a win-win for both sides.
I mean,
Yeah.
for everything he does as a receiving back, I mean, he's obviously worth $19 million. He's now on the team through 2027. So they got
Ma-
3 full seasons with him.
Man is their offense. I mean, honestly,
Right.
like when he's healthy. So hopefully, I love they're keeping Debo. I like if they can keep the balance and not have to go Carolina Panthers on Christian McCaffrey. I think it's a good deal, especially.
Yeah, for sure. You guys think they're going to sign Ayuk or let him go? He's the only one that hasn't been paid yet.
I would say after this,
He's probably
I
gone, right?
I would say probably they're probably shopping him, but
Yeah.
if they can get a deal done and keep him, I mean that offense is going to continue to be
I just don't
legit.
understand how they can spend so much money, how they can just resign every single person.
Yeah,
I mean,
literally everybody.
John Lynch knows something I don't know apparently because like they just resign everybody. I guess.
Every single player. It helps with Brock Purdy on that rookie deal. So
True.
hopefully Kwesi can cook some things up for the Vikings here over the next couple of years too. Now to the NBA, Tyrese Maxey has not finalized his deal yet, but 5 years, $205 million max. I mean, I don't think you guys have any issue with this one, right? This is a guy who just made his first All-Star game, 26 and about 8 averages on the season. Young star next to Embiid. I mean, this also is a no-brainer deal in my eyes.
Yeah, I think he'll probably be underpaid by the end of this deal if he takes the career trajectory that we're looking for, because he doesn't have the All-NBA teams to sign like the super, so it'll probably work out well for the Sixers at the end of the day if Maxey takes the career arc it's looking like he's going to.
Facts. I agree there. This one is interesting, boys. The Lakers are zeroing in on JJ Reddick to be the next head coach. What do we think about this? Forbes, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I was just saw that right before. I was really surprised. Haven't really let it all digest. I feel like I've been listening to a lot of JJ recently, and he hasn't really said anything about.
He's been keeping it quiet for sure.
Right, he's been really quiet about it. So he must be serious about it. I don't know about the fit. I mean, LeBron has history with head coaches, and I don't know. He's just gonna bring his. It doesn't sound like he's part of the coaching search, right? So I don't know. I feel like JJ might get the short end of the stick a little bit, and it's kind of a weird first head coach job, but I'm all for it.
All the Pat Riley comparisons are being thrown around like they're candy here at a parade.
I know, a little
about
premature.
JJ, so a little premature, but I do get the comparison with the Lakers and all that. So I think JJ will be a good coach. I mean, just from watching the JJ and LeBron pod, I guess, like just the amount he knows and can articulate.
Knows what he's talking about. Yeah.
And from listening to him in the broadcast booth, right, I think his ability to execute late game scenarios consistently should be good, theoretically.
Yeah.
Based on how he talks. So if that can be good and they can roll with that, then I think even the youngness and the LeBron coach history might not be as important if he can just execute late game situations, which we can see so many NBA coaches consistently not be able to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, just the fact that he's a former player, I feel like that gets the guys respect like way quicker. Yeah. Not saying it's like always like that, because obviously like Eric Spoelstra was not a former player and he's a very successful head coach. So it's not always like that, but they just seem to acclimate themselves way quicker when they're a former player. So I think this is probably the best sign. I can't really think of – there's no one on the top of my head that immediately jumps out as a for sure better hire than JJ. That's available still. You know what I mean? So it's like, why not?
Yeah, no, it sounded like they were interviewing like Sam Cassell and like Mike and Nori and like I forget the Heat other assistant. It's like none of those names really pop off. So JJ sounds like the right choice.
MLB suspensions here, boys. Tucupita Marcano. No idea if I pronounced that right. Banned for life. He's an infielder for the Padres, one of their backups. He has placed 387 baseball bets totaling more than $150,000 from October 2022 through last July. He is the first active player in a century banned for life because of gambling. Boys, this has like been an issue here across sports for a couple months now. What do you guys make out of this? First off, let me just say this guy is an idiot, because in baseball it's more frowned upon than any other sport there is. You know it's illegal, so why are you doing it? It makes no sense to me.
No, I hate that it's got to this point that players are gambling, and you knew it was going to happen when you introduced gambling in America. Like, people are just going to take advantage of and bet on it. But I also love that the leagues are going right after them and saying, we're banning you guys for, in some cases for life, in some cases for a year. And I think it really shows that they are going to crack down on it and try to, limit it as much as possible. So
yeah, multiple other players banned for 1 year in this whole thing as well.
Yeah, 4 minor leaguers were banned for a year for betting on MLB games.
Yeah, I guess I just don't. It's just not worth it for me if I was in that position to do that and risk losing my job that I have playing a
what I'm
sport
saying.
making hundreds of thousands of dollars. I guess
That's
just
what I'm
not
saying.
something I'm
It
willing
makes
to
no
risk.
sense. Yeah.
But it's tough. You know, I'm
Now
sure,
he'll never play in the MLB ever again. Like, he's done.
Yeah. I'm sure addiction and, you know, as we saw in the Jonte Porter situation, gambling debts previous play a role in this. Sounds like Michael Porter was straight up Nathan Scott in One Tree Hill, like craziness. Like just got a bookie on the sideline, like making sure he's doing what he needs to do, scaring him. Crazy stuff out there, really.
It is actually crazy. Yeah, insane. Well, boys, I think it's time we jump to our fantasy baseball segment. We actually haven't talked fantasy baseball at all this year, so we are going to talk little recent trends in both batters and pitchers. We're going to talk people that are on hot streaks currently and those that are obviously slumping. Now, boys, I'll go first because the two guys I'm going to shout out are both Yankees. I know that sucks. I'm not shouting them out because they're Yankees, but because they're on my fantasy
Yes, you
team.
are. Bust is a secret Yankees fan, just to let all the Hardys and
I hate
Hardios
you.
know. He will say that,
Don't listen
but
to
man
this man.
used to sport a Yankees hat consistently.
Until I burn
And
it.
that can be merched. Merged with picks, we'll show you Hardys and Hardos. This man used to sport a Yankees hat like he was going out of style. So I think we got a closet Yankees fan on Hard Headed Sports. No lie.
I burned it years ago.
Classic.
Hardos. Don't listen to this guy. Aaron Judge, 5.7 points per game, fellas, over the last 30 days. Absolute tear. His stat line, 400 batting average, 522 on base percentage, 1.544 OPS over his last 30 days. He's got 26 extra base hits. He leads the MLB in home runs, doubles, runs scored, total bases, and then fantasy points, obviously, in that span. Absolute tear. Luis Gil, on the other hand, is the other guy I was going to shout out. 23.4 fantasy points over his last 30. He's had 5 starts in the last month. He's 5-0 with a .84 ERA and a .71 WHIP. That's ridiculous. He's second in the MLB in fantasy points for pitchers in that stretch. My question for you guys is, which one of these streaks here is more surprising to you? Judge getting 15 home runs, 26 total extra base hits in 1 month, or this guy, Luis Gil, going 5-0 with a .84 ERA?
I think it's obvious, right?
I
I think
think
it's Gil, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just feel
Aaron-
like everyone's talking about Judge in the national media, given what he's doing. Like, obviously, I don't think I've ever heard Luis Gil talked about on ESPN or anything. Like, it just blows my mind.
Yeah, that is kind of just the Yankee Aaron Judge factor. I mean, he is kind of larger than life, and he is kind of not the face of baseball, but one of like the guys you think about when you think of baseball.
He's one
So
of them, yeah.
So when he's having that hot of a streak, I think that's kind of why you're probably hearing his name a little bit more. But
Okay, I have
mean,
a better
hats-
question for you then. This one's tricky. If baseball ended today, who would be the American League MVP, Juan Soto or Aaron Judge? Both absolutely killing it.
Probably Judge. It's going to be close, but I think I would say Judge as of right now. It is kind of crazy to me. Both leagues, both MVP candidates are basically
Or on the same
two
team.
guys on the same team in
Yeah.
both leagues. So it's pretty wild.
That is very wild.
Also a reason to hate baseball, just saying.
Facts. Who do you guys got? Who's been catching your eye lately?
Well, we're going to go with the guy who I predicted, so I've been on this train the whole
shut
year.
up.
Yeah, my boy Gunna.
Who is it, Gunner?
Gunner, 19 runs scored, 9 home runs, and 18 RBIs in the last 30 days. Man has not 20 home runs and 42 RBIs on the season, averaging almost 3.5 fantasy points per game. Crazy. I mean, I drafted this guy in the 4th round, took him way earlier than was projected, and he paid it off for me. So
20
shout out
bombs.
to him. 20 bombs for my boy Gunna.
What?
And my second guy is also a Yankee, sadly.
Oh, no. We did not just go 3 for 4 on Yankees.
We did go 3 for 4, but Rodon's resurgence this year. I know this makes Bus super happy.
Oh, let's
and it's
not.
his
No, I don't
favorite
want to hear
thing
this.
ever. 5 wins in the last 30 days, 2.37 ERA, and a .96 WHIP on 26 Ks. absolute baller season this year from Rodon. 3.09 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, and 7-2 on the season. Top 20 pitcher in fantasy.
Okay, Spinny, who do you think out of your two guys there is more likely to keep up this type of pace? Is it Rodon finally getting back to what he was prior to the struggles, or is it Gunnar Henderson's second year true explosion throughout the entire season?
I think my money's on Gunnar.
Yeah,
I had to pick one, but
I agree.
I'm pretty confident in both, although I just think, Rodon has had the up and down career, so it's always kind of in the back of my head.
Yeah, for sure. How about you, Forbes? Who do you got to shout out?
I got two guys from the AL Central, and for those of you who don't know, I take all of my pitchers first in these fantasy baseball drafts I do with these guys. So I am streaming hitters all year long. So I got no pitchers. My pitchers are good. So if you follow this strategy, these are some guys to look at. So I got David Fry, he can play catcher, first base, or outfield. He's for the Cleveland Guardians, unfortunately. 71.5% on ESPN, and he's in the last 30 days. He got 55 at bats, batting .382, .528 on base percentage, .800 slugging percentage.
.382.
Yep, in the last 30 days. So that's probably part of the reason the Guardians are so it seems like the Twins are should be gaining some ground, and then you look and you're still 6 games back of the Guardians, but this guy might have something to do with it. And then another AL Central guy I got is Kerry Carpenter, who plays outfield. He's actually on the IL right now, but he's owned at 12.4% of leagues.
What team is he on again? The Tigers?
The Tigers. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, last 30 days, 49 at-bats, 327 batting average, 370 on base percentage, 816 slugging percentage, 5 home runs, 14 ribbies. So a couple of AL Central guys you can look at.
David Fry, availability at catcher is insane for a guy putting up the stats that he is.
That is so
super clutch.
You may have missed the window by a week to pick up him, but I mean, he's still available in about 30% of leagues, so you might be able to snag him.
Also, quick last shout out before we move on from this. Mitch Keller, been killing the last 30 days, 1.39 ERA, .92 WHIP. Still available in 78% of leagues. This is a top 20 pitcher in the league currently. Still available or owned in 78% of leagues. So still available in over 20% of leagues. 1/5 of leagues still available. So if you're in a if you're in a smaller league, he might definitely still be available for you, which is crazy to have a top 20 pitcher still not owned in 80% of leagues.
There's stuff like that I've noticed, throughout the league. I was just checking guys, and I was seeing guys that were top 5 at their position, still only owned in 80% of leagues. I'm like, what are people doing? You see them on the waiver wire, go pick them up. Come on.
Wild.
All right, let's jump to Slumps, though. This guy has been sucking so bad all season. I'm going to roast him because this was my breakout player of this year. That is Spencer Torkelson. He is at 1.3 points per game on the season for fantasy. His last 30 days was at a 1.5. So 1.5 is brutal, but that's even better than what he was doing going into the last 30 days somehow. He is batting .196 with only 7 RBIs, has only 5 walks and 25 strikeouts in his last 30 days. And he was just optioned to AAA. I don't know if you guys saw that. What do you guys think about this Spencer Torkelson? Is he just you need more minor league reps, or is this guy just actually a bust? Because I'm at a loss of words, if I'm being honest.
And he's looking at me like he knows that I've been high on him the last 2 years, and I don't know what is going on with him. It seemed like last year he figured it out towards the end of the year, but obviously not. So maybe another minor league stint is good for him, but he's probably 20. He's probably at the time where he needs to be starting to figure it out at the major league level. So I'm just getting a little sketched out at this point. It's like, how many chances does he need to come up and go down and figure it out and not? And he's still young. I
what do we got? Age 24. So he is
Turning 25 in August. So.
turning 25 in August. So we're getting close here to the point where it's like you got to hit or not hit, my guy. And if you're not gonna hit, like we're looking at bust territory. I still think it's like 65. If I had to give it a number right now, I still think it's like 65% on the bust side. So he's still got a lot of chance, a lot of time, but we're trending bust.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, other than his couple months post All-Star break last year, where he actually started hitting home runs, like Forbes mentioned, he's done nothing in the MLB. So I don't know. We're definitely trending towards the bust, like you said, Spinny. One other guy. This guy has been killing it throughout his career. So I don't know what's the deal this season. That is Nolan Arenado. He's at 1.9 on the season, 1.3 only in the last 30 days. In the last 30 days, he's batting 204 with only 8 RBIs. Do you guys think he's going to get out of this slump? Because this has been the entire season he's been slumping. You know what I mean? Is he actually going to turn around? Goldie's in the same boat. He's been slumping all year. Are the Cardinals ever going to turn around, or are they just old and finally washed? What do you guys think?
Are the Cardinals finally cursed? Are they done? Are they done being perennially good? Do I take them off the list now? Are they like the Patriots where they're just off the list of being perennially good? Are we at that point?
I'm not.
You're not gonna go there.
I'm not going there.
Okay.
But
it's not looking good for Arenado.
No,
it's definitely not. So I still think he has a chance to turn it around, but it needs to be in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Need to really be a change
before
for
All-Star
him
break
and for the Cardinals as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, I completely agree. Spinny, what do you got?
All right, Manny Machado. Man,
he's been slumping all year too.
He's been slumping all year too. This is another guy on a huge deal.
He's been slumping since
All-Star break last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Manny's gonna turn around. We got 8 runs scored, 1 home run, and 10 RBIs in the last 30 days for Manny Machado. Definitely not great, and I'm worried about him. I'm a little worried about him as a player overall. Total season stats: 240, 27 runs scored, 6 home runs, 31 RBIs. Only averaging less than 2 fantasy points per game on the year.
Pathetic.
That is not good for a guy that was definitely drafted in the top 5 or 6 rounds of your fantasy draft in almost every league. So definitely a bust pick so far. Other one I'm going to shout out. I'm going to go with Corbin Carroll as my
little
second
sophomore
slump. Little sophomore slump for Corbin. And last 30 days for him, 14 runs scored, 1 home run, and 15 RBIs. So he's actually been a little bit better than his season total. Man is hitting 192 on the season. 192.
On the season?
2 home runs, 20 RBIs is the season for Corbin Carroll. Man has under 100 points scored on the season in fantasy, averaging 1.5 per Corbin Carroll.
I knew he was struggling, but not that bad. He's not even batting 200?
He's not batting 200. Corbin Carroll on the
hell?
year. Absolutely.
All-Star last year as a rookie.
Insane. 192, 280, 281 hitting slashes on the season.
Oh, that is brutal.
Brutal.
You can't even get above a 300 on-base percentage?
No.
And,
brutal.
And just like your last mention, Manny Machado, Corbin Carroll was drafted very, very high this year. So he has been disappointing for a lot of managers out there.
Yeah.
Forbes, finish us off.
So my first one, I love saying this name because he's just a name you hate in baseball, and especially for the Twins. So Jose Altuve.
Yeah.
Last 30 days owned, and I'll shout out the league member of ours that owns him. Neil has him. Last 30 days, 110 at bats, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, only 25 hits, batted 227, 267 on base percentage with a 309 slugging percentage.
Ooh.
So Jose had a terrible month of May, and let's hope he continues it. So
yeah,
I have no shares of him.
Down with the Stros, baby. Come on. Even though I said I picked them, we're still down with the Stros, baby.
And then the second guy I have is Ellie De La Cruz, who had not a monster, but a very, very strong start to his season in April. And basically his stats plummeted in May. So I mean he's looking at the last 30 days. He's 183 batting average, 274 on base percentage, 250 slugging percentage, only 19 hits and 1 home run. But if you look at the dude's season stats, he is, I mean, right on par with league average, leading the league in strikeouts. But I mean, it's
he leads the league in strikeouts.
I believe so.
Oh, oof.
And also stolen bases, which I don't know if that count has ever been done before.
Strikeouts and stolen bases together?
He has 83 strikeouts and 32 stolen bases. So
yeah, I would have
kind of a weird start to the season for Ellie De La Cruz, but I mean he's young and I have no reason why I don't think he'll figure it out. So
he's definitely more valuable in like category leagues for those stolen bases because in points, all those negatives he's getting from strikeouts.
Yes, and also owned by Neil. So 2 of Neil's probably higher picks that probably, if you look at his scores the last 4 weeks, probably
good.
Too good.
We need to go, Neil. Yeah, that's what you get for trading all your picks last year and having 75 top 5 round picks. That's what you get.
He'll still choke. Yeah, I ain't worried. Well, fellas, I think it's time for me to get this dub. It's been so long since we've done trivia spinning.
It has been a while.
Literally, like over a month for sure.
Hopefully, it hasn't been too long, so Bus still remembers how to push the correct trivia theme song button. The headline, before we get to it, I'll go first, but I want to talk about my headline down here, the W. And that's because all 3 of my questions are about the WNBA today, boys. So you better get ready. And if you're not watching WNBA games, that's your fault. That is your fault. They should be on at least on TV2 regularly at this point of the year.
You know what? I might have a slight chance because I randomly joined a WNBA fantasy league this year, boys.
Really?
I did, yeah, on ESPN with just a bunch of randoms. There are only 6-team leagues, since the WNBA is so small, you get 9 girls on a roster. So, in one of mine, I got the, what is her name? Asia Wilson, the monster, and the other one I got Brianna Stewart. So we're looking pretty good in both of them.
Looking good. Also,
all right, Spinny, give us your easy then. Man.
I will give you a hint for all my questions. There is no Caitlin Clark in any of these questions.
Okay.
So be prepared for that.
That's a good hint, actually.
Easy question. Who leads the WNBA in 3-pointers made this season?
This season, like the one that's only been like
10 games in.
10 games in.
That's a quarter of the season. 25% of the season done.
Yeah, play 40 games, yeah. I actually have a good guess. Forbes, do you have a guess? He looks clueless.
I forget how to say her last name, but Sabrina Ikonis.
Oh, that's a good one.
Anascu. That's a good question.
It might be her. It might be her. I'm going to go Plum, Kelsey Plum.
One of you did get it right.
I don't like it.
Was it Sabrina?
Plum. It was Kelsey Plum.
Kelsey Plum. Okay.
Kelsey Plum, most 3-pointers made this year.
I got one right. Okay. Makes me feel better. I thought I was going to go for 3 on spinning questions. Forbes, your easy question.
Yep. In 1990, 2 MLB greats made baseball history, become the first father-son duo to hit back-to-back home runs. Who is the duo?
I got it. I think. Pretty sure.
I will say Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr.
Yes.
Yep. Ding, ding, ding.
I was going to say, if it wasn't them, Jesus. Okay, my easy question. We all know Jokic was the Finals MVP last year. Who was the Finals MVP 2 years ago?
Who won that ship?
This one's kind of stumping you guys.
I think. Wait, you said MVP or finals?
Finals MVP.
Finals MVP.
Okay, I got it.
So
Jokic was
2021
last year.
Lakers.
Who was 2 years ago?
Who am I missing? Oh,
5, 4, 3.
I don't know.
Forbes, you
This
have a
is
guess,
not
right?
it.
Steph Curry.
All right, Spinny, go.
Steph Curry was my guess, but I don't think that's
Your
right.
guess? Final.
Yeah.
Steph Curry is correct.
Oh.
They beat the Celtics.
Oh yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember if for some reason I could not remember if the Bucks finals was before that or after that. All right. 1 point for each here. Player's name and the team they play on. 1 point for each. WNBA leader in points per game.
What'd you say? The team too? Sorry.
1 point for the player. 1 point for the team.
Well, I know the player. I don't remember what team she plays on.
I have a guess, but
You'll give me the point, even though I'm gonna butcher her last name, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually don't remember what team she's on at all. Do you have a guess, Forbes?
I don't think it's right. But Aja Wilson, she plays for Vegas.
I know it's not her because she's on my fantasy team. She was just passed by Enrique, however you say her name. It starts with an O. The UConn guard. She plays on the. I have no idea. Literally, the Mystics.
It is the Dallas Wings.
Dallas Wings. It was Enrique, though, right?
It is Enrique Agumbawale.
Agumbawale. There you go.
Is the leader in points per game.
Remember, she hit those back-to-back game winners.
Yep, the back-to-back game winners.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get 1 point there. Forbes your medium question
over here.
All right.
I'm so jealous.
Brought to you by Mariah's Cookies. The medium question. I'm only gonna give you. You got to get them both because
Okay.
I think one of them's too easy. What are the two national sports of Canada?
I got him. I think I got him. Pretty locked in on this. I think.
I'm locked in too. I think my second one's wrong, but for some reason I'm pretty confident in it. I'm gonna go hockey, lacrosse.
Hockey and lacrosse.
Ding, ding, ding.
Let's go.
Let's go, Vinny. That was big time, actually.
Yeah. Who told me about lax? Canada and lax was a conversation I had with somebody, so very recently. So whoever that was, shout out to you. My memory sucks, but somebody helped me out with that one. All right, boss.
My medium. You have to get both. It's one each. But to get full points, you have to get them both. Oldest player to win Finals MVP, and how old was he? I thought it was
in our lifetime question mark?
It is not. I thought it was semi-easy. That's why I put it as a medium question.
All right, I got a guess.
Oldest Finals MVP. How old was he? You just got to throw out a number.
We just need the age?
We don't need the name?
No, that's a point for each, I'm saying.
Okay. I'm going to go Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 36.
And I'm going to say Bill Russell, 35.
It is, one of you was correct on the name. No one was right on the age. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the oldest Finals MVP at age 38, believe it or not.
Holy moly.
That's very impressive.
Very.
After the medium round, Spinny and I are tied with 5 points. Forbes has 1.
Ooh.
We need a couple hard questions.
Yeah. Okay, this one is gettable, definitely for a hard question. Who leads the WNBA in assists, total assists? 1 point for the name, 1 point for the team, and 1 point for the position, guard, forward, or center. Name,
Not
team,
a trick
position.
question.
All-time assists?
No. Currently this season, total assists.
Oh.
Currently this season.
I don't know. Really have no idea. Name, position, team.
Yep.
Well, geez, if it's not a guard, I don't freaking know. I don't know her name. I will say, let's go Liberty. Maybe someone's dishing dimes to Brianna Stewart. Liberty. I don't have a name guess. I really don't.
Okay.
I'll just say Sabrina. I know that's not right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I'll go. I'll do same as my first guess. Aja Wilson. Was she a
Vegas.
forward Vegas?
The only point goes to Forbes for guessing forward because it is a forward who is averaging 9 assists per game so far. Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun.
Alyssa Thomas?
Alyssa Thomas, 9 assists per game.
She's literally on my
Connecticut
fantasy
Sun.
team. And I didn't know that.
That is tough.
That is
Big
tough.
Leading the league in assists.
Gosh! Forbes gets a point. Okay.
5-2.
All right. I just need to stump you guys here and take home Fetty's to force a 3-way tie.
Oh, no.
All right. Mine, I don't know. It's probably not that gettable, but that's good in this case. So in May 2001, a member of the Cubs was intentionally walked a record 5 times by the Reds. Who is this MLB Hall of Famer? Played for the Cubs.
The Cubs?
MLB Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer? Oh, no. That gets rid of my guess.
I got to guess.
I got to guess, too. I don't know if he's in the Hall, though.
If this
I don't know
is...
if those-
if, I
I don't know if those
mine's-
years even match up.
Mine might be too easy for a hard question, but... All right, boss. I'm ready. You ready? I'll go first.
Go for it.
Sammy Sosa.
There's no way Sammy. I don't think he's in the Hall because he did roids. Alfonso Soriano is my guess.
Ooh.
Forbes? Either of us right?
Actually, I don't know where I got the 2001. I think
What?
the 2001 I think is wrong.
But it was a Cub, though.
I'm looking at his baseball events now, and it was between 87 and 92 he played for the Cubs. So not in our lifetime, but it still happened. I'm guessing maybe it was 1991 or 1990. Not in our lifetime, though.
We got a name?
Do you guys have another guess?
Oh, you're giving us another guess.
I would definitely give you another guess.
All right, I appreciate that.
2001.
Yeah.
I really don't know now.
Now I really am out of guesses too.
Oh man, who even played? I'm trying man.
I don't even know if I can name a player.
That's what I'm saying. I can't think of one single Cub from the early
Intentionally walked.
Jesus. I can't even think of a freaking Cub, dude. Not
1990.
1990. I cannot think of a player on the Cubs before Sammy Sosa.
Spinny, I think we have to take an L on this one. Barry
Ken Griffey
Bonds.
Sr.
Andre Dawson.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
Who the hell? is Andre
MVP,
Dawson?
8-time All-Star,
MVP?
8-time Gold Glove, won the home run derby.
All right, we should probably know who that guy is then, Spinny, if he's that good.
More baseball L's for us.
5 intentional walks in one game, though.
Yeah, that's
like
That's crazy.
that's something.
That is
They must have
crazy.
been really scared of that guy.
Yeah. All right,
all right.
boss.
Here we go.
Let me tie it up.
Me for
Spinny
the
for
win,
the
Forbes
win.
for the tie.
Yep. Which one am I going to choose? I got 2 questions written down here.
What the? What the? That's sketchy, boy. Sketchy boy over there.
Let's do this one. I want to see, just because I don't even care if Spinny wins, he wins. That's fine. I'll even let Forbes tie potentially. This one seems easier, so I will say it. How many franchises have won an NBA title? We know there's 30 teams. How many of the 30 teams have won a title
In the NBA?
in the NBA?
Do we get a plus or minus on this, or we got to hit it?
You got to hit it.
All right. I got my guess.
Out of 30 teams, how many have won a title? 5 seconds, Forbes. 4.
All right, I got it.
And 2. All right.
Taylor Swift era 22 is
I
my
got
guess.
19.
Wrong. Both of you. Spinny was the closest. It is
Is it
21.
Oh!
It's 21 teams. You know what that means?
hurts.
Spinny?
Means Forbes has to come up with a question for us.
Forbes got to come up with a quick hitter. What do you want to do? Just yell our name out, Spinny, as the buzzer, or what? Okay.
Yep.
Make it really easy, Forbes. First one to get it.
Not too easy, though.
Okay. Who did the Nuggets beat last year in the NBA Finals?
Spinny.
Heat.
Or plus. I said Spinny.
Buss.
They beat the Heat.
Buss. Yep. You
Yeah.
win.
He said it before me?
He said his name before you.
Yeah, you didn't buzz. You didn't hit your
I
buzzer.
think you buzzed.
I just said the answer.
I think so.
Dang. Lost
Thanks,
on a
Spinny.
technicality.
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 Hell out here for Spinny. That's tough.
I made sure to specifically
Wow.
look for the buzzer.
Damn. All right. Unbiased judge here, Forbes, but that was a little Scott Fostery, I will say. A little Scott Fostery on the judgment.
I don't love it either. I don't love it either. But
all right, I will accept. I will graciously take my Chris Paul acceptance of it.
We'll just run it back next week, Spinny. You can get your lick back next week.
Fine.
NBA Finals prop bets. Last thing we're going to talk about on episode 105. I got a lot of bets written down, fellas. Interested in hearing your thoughts about them. So which of these points per game interests you the most, if maybe none of them do at all? Kyrie to average 25 plus for the series. Jaylen Brown to average 25 plus for the series. Tatum to average 30 for the series. Kyrie's line is at plus 130. Jaylen Brown's line is at plus 200. And Jason Tatum's line for averaging 30 or more in the series is at plus 230.
Only one I like is Jaylen Brown. Kyrie, I
Yes.
think, is the most likely to average it, but I don't think the odds are worth it. I think Brown will get pretty damn close. He has been in both finals and conference finals series, basically for the last 3 years. So I would take Brown of those three.
I think I agree too. Just for the fact that I think if you're gonna put your defensive focus on Tatum, I think that allows Jaylen Brown to be a little bit more productive. So I think 25 points per game is, especially with the minutes he's going to be playing, I think that's doable.
And
Tatum averaging 30 is never happening.
that's what I'm saying. You get
consistent
five.
enough.
You get 5 less points for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would rather bet whatever the under is on Tatum than the over.
Yeah, no, he's not hitting that. Fun fact: Tatum has been in 19 career playoff series. He has averaged at least 30 in 2 of the 19. So the odds are definitely stacked against you. Jaylen Brown, though, odds are not well for him either. He's played in 21 playoff series in his career and has only hit 25 or more points per game in 2 of them. One of them being the Eastern Conference Finals. So I kind of like the Jaylen Brown one. I kind of like the Kyrie one even too. I think those guys are very capable of scoring 25 a game. And especially like Forbes said, defensive is focusing a lot of their attention on Tatum and Luka, obviously. How about this one? Anybody to score 50 plus in a game is at plus 400.
I kind of like that. I get Luka, Tatum, and Kyrie plus 400. I mean, anybody, but those are the 3 that are definitely the most likely. We've seen Kyrie score 40 in a finals game. I want to know how many 50-point finals games there have been in history, because there probably isn't that many.
The answer I'm about to tell you might change your mind, Spinny.
Mm.
There
Yeah,
have
I don't
been
love it.
7. Only 7 in NBA Finals histories. Also, fun fact, only 3 of those have happened since 1969. 4 of the 7. LeBron, Giannis, and MJ. The only 3 to happen since 1969. So this is not likely to happen at all. So
yeah. And that LeBron game was one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, also, like Giannis was in the closeout game 6. Like,
I think the odds are just too. They're not good enough for
They're not good enough, right?
for the number of stuff that you can throw at Luka. Because I think Luka's the only realistic possibility. Maybe Kyrie, but I think Luka's the one you're banking on in that case. And I just think that they're gonna make him do something else before they let him score 50.
Yeah,
But
100%.
I mean, we've seen Luka just go nuclear, so
Sure.
I think that's why the odds are the way they are.
Yeah.
I got some interesting ones here. These ones I would consider if you were a gambling man. Spinny and I are not gambling men. We should have prefaced this segment with that. But Drew Holiday to have one or more steals in every game. He needs one steal. That's it. One steal
Odds?
in each game. The odds are plus 320.
I like that just because after seeing the Mavs play, I mean they play so well sometimes offensively, and then sometimes it's just they'll just throw it away. And
Yeah.
I don't know. One a game is it just takes
Here's-
one game not to, right?
Yeah, like I think he'll average one a game, for
Right.
sure, guaranteed.
Right.
But one in every game, I don't know. I think the
Here-
odds are pretty close to correct on that.
Two interesting facts about Drew Holiday in this regard. Half of his playoff games this year, 7 of his 14, he didn't have any steals. So that's not good. But in his only finals appearance with the Bucks, he went 5 out of 6 games with a steal.
Ooh.
So he was pretty close back in the finals with the Bucks. So I don't know. You just think like I feel like that's one of the safer ones just because Drew Holiday is just a freaking menace on the defensive end. He only has to do one time per game. You know what I mean?
True.
How about this one? Derek White, 4+ assists in each game, plus 380. A little stat for him. He has at least 4 assists in 9 of the 14 games this playoffs.
This is another one where it just takes one game to screw you, and I just
So
think
you
with all
stay
the
away. You stay away from each game once, is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I think I do, unless it's I don't know. It would have to be the right circumstance. I think the one you have next on the list, I think, is the most likely. Which and we can get to that now, but Luka double.
Luka double in each game is at plus 550. Fun fact: he's had a double in 29 of his 45 career playoff games. That's wild. 13 of 17 playoff games this year. So he's almost done it for every single game this playoff run.
Yeah,
Plus 550?
Plus 550. Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely the best one.
yes.
That's the
I'm going
best
with
one.
Forbes on that.
And
Yeah, maybe if those other, like if the White assist number was a little higher, only plus 380. If it was flirting with plus 500, then maybe.
no, and I think the Celtics they'll do a lot better job of attracting the Dallas bigs away from the basket, which you're gonna need Luka. I mean, he's not gonna be guarding anyone like I don't know substantial. So he's probably gonna get a little bit more rebounds in this series just
Yeah.
because of that. So,
But who are they? Just throwing this out there for a second. Holiday, White, Tatum, Brown, Porzingis. Who's he guarding?
Holiday,
Okay.
I think.
I'd still think that's a harder matchup than any series he's had the whole year. Like any playoff series up to this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess or Derek White, but
Derek White. Either way, though, I think that the Celtics make it tougher on Luka having to guard one of those guys than previous guarding.
no, agreed.
Especially Derek White. He's more consistent than Drew is from the 3-point line, which would cause Luka to have to be out there more. But
Not this year, apparently. The numbers show The numbers show stuff different.
I know,
than that.
that's
Drew,
weird.
Drew shooting 43% on the season is insane. Derek White also does get greedy from 3 a lot more than Drew, though.
yeah, Drew knows his role more, obviously. He is the vet. This one, I don't think you will like Spinny at all because it involves your man's
Oh, no.
Tatum. Luka to outscore Jason Tatum in each game plus 600. Luka in his playoff career has averaged 31 points per game. Tatum in his playoff career has averaged 24. So Luka 7 more points per game in his playoff career. Obviously, we know this gap is way different now, though. Tatum, he just came off a 30 a game against the Pacers. I think there's no shot in hell that Luka does it in every single game.
That's what I mean. And Tatum's so up and down, too. Like, he is going to score pretty damn close to 40 at least one game. And it only takes that of Luka not like Tatum's gonna have 2 A++ games and 2 like D+, C- games. So I just think that those A++ games, it's gonna be hard for Luka to outscore him in both those.
This odds is very high. Buzzer beater in the series. It has to be a legit buzzer beater. 0
game winner or could be quarter ending.
That's true. I guess it doesn't specify on DraftKings. It just says buzzer beater. I would imagine is to win the game though. To win the game, buzzer beater is plus 2,500.
On FanDuel, to win the game buzzer beater, it's 10-1. So I'm guessing maybe that is a. I don't know how. Do they count buzzer beaters that they?
Like a second quarter buzzer beater?
No. Well, it has probably have to be the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
It has to be a legit 0 seconds left on the clock situation.
Okay.
A legit buzzer beater for the win.
If that is 25-1, though.
Is there any Luka magic here? On DraftKings, it's 25-1. Is there any Luka magic in this series?
If it's close to the end, there definitely is. So
yeah, I mean, I think there's gonna be. I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Especially for a little, just something light, little.
That's what I'm saying.
$5-10 situation. Yeah. Like, yeah.
If you were a gambler.
Exactly.
The thing is, though, fellas, there's not been a buzzer beater in the finals since 1997, aka Michael Jordan. So it has been a long time since we've seen a finals or a buzzer beater in the finals. So
that explains the odds.
Explains the plus 2,500. All right, correct series predictions, fellas. Spinny, you picked the Celtics in 6, correct?
Yep.
That's plus 475. You like that? Celtics 4-1 is plus 340. In 7, it's plus 350. You sticking with your in 6?
Heck yeah, I love it. I love the
plus
odds 475 winning on the road. Yeah.
I'm going in 7 Mavs, which is plus 800. Other Mavs lines, Mavs 4-0 is plus 1,900. Mavs 4-1 plus 1,200. Mavs 4-2 plus 550. And then Mavs in 7 plus 800. So I like that line too. 8-1. I mean, it's pretty good. I know Spinny's getting a little worried as we get close to Thursday here.
I'm so not worried.
Okay. Now you just jinxed it. You just jinxed your Celtics.
Yeah, that's fine. I can jinx the crap out of them. I'm about 35% worried. 35%. Okay. I'll sort of put the worry meter right now.
Forbes, in terms of odds there, which one seemed more appealing to you? Are you leaning Celtics or Mavs in this series?
I lean. I mean, Celtics have been the best team all year.
Right.
The Mavs have came on strong here recently. There's been a ton of buzz, I think, with Dallas that I don't love when the public gets on an underdog like this, especially when.
That's fair, yeah.
There is such a strong team. I do like the Celtics. I think I lean. It's going to be a long series, so I'm going to go Celtics in 7. I think plus 340. All those are pretty even. That I'm going to stick with the one that I think is going to happen. So
yeah, that makes sense. Series leaders. Total points: Luka Doncic minus 205, Jason Tatum plus 280, Kyrie Irving plus 1,000. Kyrie's plus 1,000, Jaylen Brown plus 1,300. I have some other guys written down there, but if you guys think it's anyone other than those 4, you're a little crazy.
I'm also just not really interested in that at all because I would bet any amount of money it's going to be Luka. The season is going to spread the ball around too much.
Minus 205.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I'd still take that.
I think so.
Yeah. I think he's going to be. I mean, he that's all he does, man. Is he scores a ton of points, and he's going to probably do it in every. He's not going to be the reason they're going to lose.
Well, and like they are so much more reliant on him as Dallas than the C's are on anybody.
Yeah.
So I just think that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, I completely agree. Rebounds leader. This one's interesting in my opinion. Minus 150, Jason Tatum.
Wow.
plus 180 Luka, plus 1,000 Kristaps Porzingis, plus 1,400 Derek Lively, plus 2,500 Daniel Gafford. I mean, I like those big man odds the most, especially
I like
Lively.
Porzingis,
Especially Lively. Lively's about to get 10 a game for sure.
I don't know. Lively, yeah. They do such a 50-50 split with Gafford and Lively that it's hard for them to get those numbers. So I think a healthy Porzingis is probably my favorite of those. So the 10-1 number.
Is that surprising?
It sounds like
Tatum minus 150. That
blew
my mind.
I mean, you've seen the last two series, the real effort he's put in on the rebounding end with Porzingis out. So I do get it from that perspective, but
yeah, for sure. Assist leader, obviously Luka's favorite here, minus 205, plus 280 Jason Tatum, plus 1,000 Kyrie, plus 1,300 Jaylen Brown. I mean, it's probably going to be Luka, right? So I mean, if you could pair that the Luka assist with the points, you might be looking at something there.
Yeah, that's probably a good parlay right there. Luka leading in points and assists for the series.
Because I really don't see anybody else.
You don't like it?
I like him in rebounds too.
Final question, fellas. Series leader in 3-pointers made. Of course, Luka Doncic is your favorite once again. Plus 100. Derek White plus 250. Jason Tatum plus 500. Kyrie plus 700. Everyone else is plus 2,000 or higher.
Derek White, second best odds, huh?
Yeah, plus 250 too.
Luka.
It's going to be Luka, right? I mean, he's going to get the shot attempts.
Yeah. I think Kyrie has an off chance potentially, but he just likes taking it the midi and taking it inside so much more in the playoffs than Luka. So, yeah, it's probably a Luka sweep around the. Which me saying that is not good because I don't know too many playoff series where someone's led in points, rebounds, assists, and 3-pointers made and their team's lost. So.
Well, LeBron that 1 year led in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. So
yeah,
and they lost. True. So I don't know. It happens.
It is happenable, but just the more I'm talking about it, happenable. I think my worried meter just raised to 40% in that conversation. I think we're up to 40
Let's
now.
Go. Let's just talk it out more, Spinny. You know, I might get you to 50 here before the episode.
No, you won't. 40's the cap.
I don't know. I don't think you should be as worried as maybe the Luka stats give off because he's gonna get his.
Yeah, you're right.
And we know he's gonna have a big series, so it's not like I don't know. I don't think him going off is gonna be the reason they win or lose. Maybe like individual games, but he's gonna get his. I don't think you should be too worried. Celtics probably have the 6 out of the 8 best guys in the series.
Definitely do.
So.
All right, good points. Worry meter's back down to 37. We're at 37 now.
Oh, 37. We're cutting
the difference. We split the difference. Split the difference.
Okay. All right. Well, fellas, Spinny, unless you have a random Q&A on top of your head, we are good for the Rawlness Chapman, episode 105.
Only thing I got is a little cookie cheers to end the episode.
You guys suck, man.
Whatever cookies that Fetty Buss can't have to that.
You guys are terrible, man.
Cheers.
I'm getting out of this shit, man. Screw this.